One thing clear. Family, how we sounding on a sound? How we sounding on a sound? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. How we doing on a sound? How we doing on a sound? Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna do a little bit of link sharing. I gotta bring my Patreons in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building who is here for the late night ting and ting. Come out. We're gonna have a fire show tonight. Shout out to all of my late nighters. No judgment. No judgment. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all up handling business, right? Respectfully. So I'm here for that. Um, Shout out to my IG family, my Instagram family. Shout out to my YouTube family. Back on YouTube. I got a long story that goes with this, but short version is I had a conversation with somebody who I respect, who's big in social media, new media, and after a long conversation with said person, they made me a deal that I couldn't refuse. I'm back, and what I'm back here to do, my primary purpose for coming back, right? Know the ledger, henceforth, know the ledger, right? Meaning that you still know the ledge, nothing changes, but know the ledger does indicate that we are gonna be a little more focused on things like technology, you feel me? And other things such as, the push that we're doing for brothers and sisters to get their stream bases, get their streams up, okay? Um, and the other primary purpose, like one of the main reasons that I'm here, and I do appreciate everybody being here, and I'm gonna have a link pinned, right? I'm gonna have a link pinned, uh, and I want you guys to join my Patreon, and I want you guys to join for free. I don't want you to be, you know, um, I don't want you to feel guilty. I don't want you to feel any type of way, pressure, like I'm twisting your arm, I'm guilt tripping you. Nah, I don't never want nobody to feel any pressure when it comes to receiving a gift, you know? And what I mean by that is this page that I've built up since 2017 literally is a gift. Like I'm for real. The Patreon page is a gift that keeps giving. And I could say that personally, that it's the gift that keeps giving because just the other day I was randomly perusing through the site and I stumbled upon some fire, fire, fire content from 2017 that I really needed at that moment, right? I really, really needed it at that moment, and it came out of nowhere. It wasn't even, I didn't even plan on it. So some of this data is the gift that keeps on giving because you'll come across some of your data and you'll be like, damn, I was putting in a lot of quote unquote work mentally, like on my research and whatnot. I was breaking some codes because truth be told, you don't remember things that you talked about a month ago. So how do you think that you're gonna be real sharp and you'll remember all of the gems that you was dropping 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago? It's almost impossible. It's not impossible, but shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, a lot of people can't hold that. So it is of a service that we have these archives and that we hold on to things that we've done in the past and whatnot, because I promise you, and I'm not gonna hold you and whatnot. We're gonna do the roll call in a few minutes, but I'm gonna put my word on it. I will put my word on it that before this year is out, you're going to see the monetization of macro influencers and people who have like 50,000, 100,000 followers. They're going to monetize the following. It's going to happen this year. So 100,000 followers got 100,000, right? If you would have asked me, I would say that is a viable business plan. It doesn't take away from anybody. It doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't take away, or it doesn't disrupt anyone. No one on this planet, especially if you tuned in to this cloth talk, there's no one on the planet who a dollar that they gave up will make or break them. I refuse, I refuse, I refuse. If you were to ever come to me, I will have to induce you and have an emergency ayahuasca session to break your ass out of whatever spell or whatever curse or whatever program that your ass is under, because you losing it. You know what I'm talking about? Your ass is Looney Tunes. You feel me? That's some Looney Tune shit. So $1 is going to change the world, same way that it did for strippers. Abraham Lincoln freed the slave. You know what I'm talking about? You get a bunch of him together, you know what I'm talking about? Shit done, things could happen. So Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves, and he also freed the strippers because the singles add up. So I don't know about anybody out there who, everybody has a different purpose and a different walk in a different station. But I know me personally and those who I'm affiliated with, you know, they're more than deserving and more than qualified. The word is qualified, more than qualified for social credit scores. We need to implement social credit systems into anything that we're doing moving forward. That is the perfect checks and balances to get people focused and keep them on point. Fuck what you say you're gonna do. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, right? That's damn near meaningless. It's what you do. You got your thinkers, your doers, and your knowers and whatnot. Faith without works is dead. It's what you do. 'Cause anybody can say they do anything, especially in the internet age. Everybody could be whatever they want to be. To be actually honest with you, I think for your mental health purposes, and one of the cheat codes, I'm sipping on plum wine. Plum wine. Go get you some. A cheat code in life is to use the internet to express all of the personalities that you have bottled up inside of you. That's the cheat code. It will give your mental health or relaxation. It would allow you to break out of certain boxes that you place yourself in. It would give your characters um viability, right? A world to exist in. Remember, the internet is built on niches, right? There's a rhyme that I wrote that said, "You get rich when you pitch to your niche. Paid in full, it's giving Mitch." You get rich when you pitch to your niche, right? You get rich when you pitch to your niche. Only you know what your niche is. Only you know how weird you are. Only you know how eccentric you are. Only you know how different you are. Only you know. Only you know. Right? That's something that you have to basically come to a conclusion on your own. There's nobody who could do it for you. You could get a consultation. You could even go into a quote unquote medicine ceremony, deep meditation, and everything. But ultimately, the question will always be asked, what do you think? It's always going to come down to that. So, before any further ado, let's go ahead and do what we always do around this time. Let's do the roll call. Let's see who's in the building. Shout out to everybody in the building on this quote unquote Monday, technically Tuesday, but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, shout out to everybody on this Melanin Monday. We turned up episode 260. Mama, we made it. We've been working. You know, I'm talking about consistency working. You feel me? Working. So yes, Jeff, you agree, right? People, I don't think and I'm gonna get into this tonight, right? Because the title of this episode is "The Cat is Out the Bag." The cat is out the bag, and we're gonna have a discussion about all of the hoopla that's going on. Because keep in mind, this is all about utilizing what's going on and what they call the outside world to take a little bit of inventory as to what's going on in the inside. Yeah, let's do this roll call. Who's in the building? We got we got the Nola in the building. We got 504 up in this thing. We got Belize up in this thing. Shout out to Belize. Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio is up in this. Yeah, we got T Dot up in this thing. Shout out to T Dot, AT Aliens. You know what I'm talking about? And not the ones from Miami. Talk black to me. Toronto up in this thing. Hartford up. We got LBC. We got Philly and whatnot. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Toronto. The Mondem, T Dot. We got Ireland up in this thing. We got Boston. We got Coachella Valley. We got New York. We got Harlem up in this thing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we got Richmond, Richmond. We got Pittsburgh, Santa Cruz. We got Long Beach. Hopefully not the wrong beach. Wagwan. We got Pittsburgh. We got we got Cali, Khalifa, Sanford, Florida. That's the spirit of Trayvon that comes every night when we do something. Always Sanford, Florida is here. That's Trayvon's spirit, y'all. That's Trayvon's spirit because we exonerated and we helped his spirit do what it needed to do and guided it when we did the Trayvon Factor back in 2013. We did the first one in 2012. It was a trilogy, but we were helping to free him from whatever bondage that these quote unquote warlocks and these witches was putting on him. And he's with us every show. Vegas in the building, Los Angeles in the building, Charleston in the building, Boca Raton, poking your moms. Shout out to Boca Raton. Yeah. Shout out to Boca Raton. Kentucky, Washington Heights, Tennessee, Detroit. What up, though? Fort Worth. We got the rack up in this thing. Chirac. We got LA, Zimbabwe, Durham up in this thing. Bay Area, Maryland, Jacksonville, Camden, Detroit, DMV, Miami, hide your kids. Hide your kids in Miami. Indiana, hide your kids. Might be hide your Indiana, H-Town, what it do? You know what I'm talking about? H-Town. 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 Y'all got them baddies out there. Real talk. H-Town. What up, though? Flint, Michigan. DMV. Kingston, Jamaica. Brr, brr. We got the sound effects coming back, by the way. Nobody wanted to buy my soundboard, so I'm just gonna keep it and buy another one. You feel me? I'll be double soundboarded up. Greenville, South Carolina. All right, we got Bulky Sanford. So, all right, everybody's in the building. So let's get back to what we were saying a minute ago with the utilization of social media, right? Keep in mind, there was a movie that came out called Social Network. Social Network was the movie about Zuckerberg, but it was also about social network, not social media, where they were telling you that it is a stark difference between the two. Henceforth, it's two different words. Social media is a byproduct of the social network. Social networking is basically, what it is that we do across these multiple apps and whatnot, where we utilize our data and we utilize our connections and we utilize our skills and we utilize our niches to build this web, to build this world, to build this quote unquote digital twin of ourselves that exists in what is known as the digital realm. So, science and studies have shown, and I will do a presentation where I'll show you the clinical research that when people engage with social media and they allow their multiple personalities to coexist through social media, meaning that they might have 10 personalities, 10 people inside of them, well, they got 10 accounts. And then you have what is known as gaming, which is bigger than what? Hollywood. Gaming is bigger than what? The music industry. Gaming is the biggest industry on the planet. And it's also been noted and it's also been said that gaming is one of the more healthier outlets for younger generations' mental health, right? For the younger generations, it is more conducive for their mental health because they could plug into these artificial worlds and whatnot, and they could become avatars, they could become characters. They live vicariously through other characters, whether these characters may be considered real or not. However, your subconscious mind does not know how to differentiate between the two. So, like they showed in the movie Inception, right? Where there was three levels of consciousness and whatnot, and they were planting ideas and concepts into the subconscious, right? To the bottom level. That's what marketing does. That's what promotion does. That's what Hollywood does. That is what the fantasy complex industry does to your mind and your subconscious and your third level, the level where things begin to form when they plant it properly in that place, in that fertile soil and whatnot. You give birth to worlds. So what marketing and what Edward Bernays through the century of self and what these marketers, the madmen, the men on Madison Avenue and whatnot, the marketers, the PR campaign, the public relations, the propaganda and whatnot, their main aim is to supplant these suggestions, these ideas, these concepts, and these programs, these tropes, and these stereotypes. Where? In your subconscious mind. Why? Because you're easier to control, you're easier to manipulate, and you're easier to turn into what America is known for, what America stands for, and what America is famous for globally, right? And that is being the land of the consumer. Okay. They want you to remain a consumer and an uneducated one at that, a consumer that doesn't ask too many questions. You personally, more so than anybody else on this planet, right? More so than anybody else on this planet, you are keeping this whole thing moving in whatever circle that it's moving in. You keep this thing moving on its axis and whatnot. Your buying habits, your your crash capitalism and whatnot, your indulgence, your hoarding, right? Your blind quote unquote appetite to consume is what keeps this thing burning. It's what keeps this thing churning. It's what keeps this thing going and whatnot. However, as we've seen over the past 4 years, and maybe even a little bit prior to that. I would say that the breakdown started happening in 2016 definitively, as I'm going over, right, as I'm reviewing footage, guys. I'm reviewing footage. I'm reviewing some very powerful footage too that I've been chopping up. Like I said, I came across a treasure trove of some data of some old files, and like I said, this is literally, a cash cow. Like, data is gold, for real, for real, for real, right? So this right here, let me pull this up.
If Russia claims that they're going to create World War III.
This is in October 2016. This is in October 2016. So what I've been able to do is I'm coming across a lot of vintage classic episodes that basically will help to paint where our minds were, right? This is going to be great for documentary footage. This is what is called proof of work. So in these videos, I was listening to a litany of videos that were that we created right around the time of the presidential campaign between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, when everybody thought that Hillary was going to win. So the conversation is very interesting to revisit and whatnot, because keep in mind, things like presidential campaigns and what I would call catalyst moments, they're like they're like, if you saw the movie Adjustment Bureau, right? They are quote unquote nodes, right? In life, there are nodes in reality. There are nodes where the story goes a definitive left versus going a definitive right. That's what creates the what if worlds and whatnot. So there's a what if world where Hillary won. There's a what if world where Donald Trump lost. There's a what if world where Donald Trump's insurrection on January 6th was successful. There's a world where he didn't get the quote unquote the ballots were in his favor, right? There's that what if. There's those multiverses. We are in now what is known as a quantum quickening, right? A quantum quickening where things are becoming quantum entangled. You're going to see more of it. You're going to hear more about quantum, quantum, quantum. You're going to get introduced to quantum computers. And then you're also going to get introduced into the quantum internet. And then you're also going to get introduced to the internet of all things. It will happen at a very fast pace, and it's going to be mind blowing. It is going to be mind blowing. Thank you for the cash apps. I hear coins dropping early, and that is an indication that we're being appreciated, and the people appreciate what we're giving y'all tonight on this late night, midnight show and whatnot. I just didn't feel right not doing a live show, because we came to the conclusion that now that we're in the winter months or the winter cycle, this is definitely time to hibernate. This is not time to be out every week. This is not time to be outside. This is not time to even really be in front of cameras like that. This is not time to exert yourself. This is not time to exhaust yourself. This is not time to keep pushing yourself. This is time to break yourself down and build yourself back up. This is time to do a lot of bit of cleansing. This is time to do a lot of bit of detoxing. This is time to hit the gym. This is time to go and do a little bit of plant-based medicine and go into some deep, dark places. So we are going to be doing the live show every 2 weeks in Atlanta. We're going to make it a bi-weekly thing. So it'll be a week where we do this, where we're online, and then there'll be a week where we're outside. And then when it gets warmer in Atlanta, because we're going through a East Coast winter, I don't know why, but we are. It's cold out here. I'm talking 20 degrees in the morning sometimes and whatnot. Shit crazy, crazy, shit crazy. So we'll be doing a live show, and then we'll be doing a live stream 1 week after week. So Stay tuned. We'll keep everybody abreast to what the schedule looks like. But yeah, we're moving in a direction where we're going to be doing what we're doing right now. And like I said, all of the people that are on the YouTube, I got the link in the description, right? And what that is for is to introduce you, to get you guys to pull up next Monday. We are gonna have Brother Rich in the building. He is going to be in the building. He will be at Melanin Mondays IRL, which is in real life. That is in the West End. All right, that is going to be in the West End, and we're gonna be interviewing the brother about his many different successful ventures and endeavors that he's been putting out and whatnot. And then what we'll also do is we'll preview the new album that the brother has put out that's making a lot of noise in a lot of high places. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of people is like, yo, this shit right here, you know what I'm talking about? This right here is a classic. Like they're having that conversation about Cambada top 5 dead or alive. I'm seeing it on the blogs. So that's a beautiful thing. If anybody received a free quote unquote, what was that, an album from me in order to do the review, yes, I would highly appreciate if you do the review and send it to me in my email respectfully, because we have a few other projects that we want to basically incorporate and engage with you. So the audience, especially the Patreons, y'all get to get things firsthand. You know what I mean? And if this is something that you want to do and you want to build your whole YouTube channel on it, and you want to start building up content, you want to go viral, you want to basically, start off immediately, right? Because you have the option to do that. Get in touch with me, right? Just get in touch with me. This doesn't have to be difficult, right? If people want to get on, if you want to create a brand and whatnot, you just need to reach out. You know what I'm talking about? You need to be invested though, because we're gonna talk business. We already have to be in business. I don't talk business to nobody that I'm not in business with. It doesn't make any sense. You can't skip the line because there's so many people that I'm already in business with that do business with me, that they come before anybody that doesn't do business with me. So it would be wise to get into some business. And the best business right now to get into is be a member. Okay. I need to count these heads, right? And that's very important. Men lie, women lie, and these numbers don't. And the internet is a numbers game, right? So to spin back around the block as to what we started out earlier talking about, right? Because the conversation about the cat is out the bag, right? So many people that I know personally, they interact on the internet as their real self. Like they'll have their real name and they're on the internet, and they brought their feelings with them. They brought their emotions with them. They brought everything that they really feel to the internet, to a place filled with strangers and whatnot, and people who not only don't know you, they don't give a damn about you. They don't give a damn about you. Not only do they don't give a damn about you, they will wish to see your ass in a very subservient role in life. Like they hate you. So wait a minute, I'm looking at this video. Before I even go further, let's watch this video. Let's look at 2016, where our minds were at, right? Because we were already figuring things out all the way back then. How did I know that Russia was going to start World War III all the way back then? How did I know that after this presidential campaign in 2016 between Hillary and Trump, that the whole world was going to turn on America, and it was going to signal globally what? The falling of the empire. And what's the conversation in every corner that they're having these days? They don't want to hurt your feelings. And because of millions and billions of dollars spent on propaganda, you don't always hear how them people feel about you. But people is talking about this shit is falling into the toilets. Then there is nothing, there's no force on the universe that could pick America up, right? It has fallen. The empire, Olympus has fallen. That's what the world is saying, not me. But in 2016, it was very apparent. So I didn't doctor any numbers. This is not cap. This is literally October 2016. The video is timestamped. Let's just play a quick clip.
Russia claims that they're going if Russia claims that they're going to create World War III and they begin an offense, that also sets off these crackers over here, or these militias and these people who wish to take over. Remember, the only thing that I see at play is the fact that they are wishing to destabilize. The concept of government is gone. Why is the concept of government is gone? How could the United States of America solve after this election cycle? With Trump and Hillary, they showed the world that that's the best that they have to offer when the world is advancing. China's advancing, Russia is advancing, India is advancing, even parts of Africa. And the best that the United States of America on the way to 2020 had to offer in their body politic, that should tell you the white people are in bad shape, was Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. That means that United States, this empire is at its, if you don't study history, you don't know what you're looking at. You have to be able to study empire. That's called the decline of the empire. Elijah told you that America will fall, and he was not Elijah, right? You're waiting for your savior. Okay, you're waiting for your savior to do what? To collapse Babylon. But Elijah told you that America is going to fall, and it's falling.
Yeah, so that was all the way back then. And if we were standing on that shit so strong, you have to ask yourself, why are we here in 2024 not only saying the same exact thing and then fake getting excited about it, but we live in a world where like the cat is out the bag. And not only is the cat out the bag, but you're now left with the option as to how are you going to move forward. The cat is out the bag, right? The truth is on the table, right? This video that Cat Williams did is at 22 million, 23. Don't stop me if the number is off. If it's more than that, let us know. What does that indicate? Is that just indicative of a lot of people wanting to hear some tea, right? Nah, not necessarily. Not how I see it. You said it's at 35 million? Oh, my bad. 36 million. Oh, excuse me. As we speak, the shit just hit 37 million. The biggest interview maybe ever. And you're alive to see that, right? Mm-hmm. So, what exactly is it about this interview that makes it the biggest interview ever? Right? It was not just the fact that he was airing people out, it was the fact that truth, right? More so than anything in the Aquarian age, right? This is all about being time sensitive, right? The truth is the biggest commodity in the Aquarian age. You need Scorpion King too. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to Definitely gonna have to switch it back to gang. We can't be doing the gang right now. But fabricated numbers. Men lie. Women lie. Numbers don't. It doesn't matter if it's fabricated. It's still a numbers game. Once again, the conversation that we have to have about the internet and what people are going to come to, a conclusion that people are going to come to, hopefully sooner than later, is that, am I still on Patreon? What do you mean by that? Like, did I leave Patreon? Did I give it up? I don't know what you mean by that. But to answer that question, yes. Yes, I am on Patreon. Does a bird fly? Yes. Does a fish swim? Yes. Am I on Patreon? Yes. Not going anywhere. So people on the internet, and they on the internet being their authentically real self. And I'm like, shit, that's not what the internet is for. That's not what the internet is for. You on the internet being super real. And you on the internet, these are my real numbers. I earned these. You know what I mean? I put in all of my blood, sweat, and I stayed up 4 nights straight. I earned these 3,000 views. You dig? Kevin Hart's ex-wife announced she's going on tour with Kat. Whoo! His lineup on tour gonna be crazy. I think Monique might come out. You know I'm getting me a ticket for that Dark Matter timing. His timing is so on point, so excellent. You know, it's always about rooting for the underdog. So of course, he was the one that they forgot about. He was the one that they overlooked and whatnot. While they was out there celebrating Steve Harvey's latest man, his latest quote unquote man unit, your boy was out there, you know, sticking to the craft, right? Because at the end of the day, that's really all that matters, is that have you perfected your craft? Are you working on your craft? Because the craft is bigger than any one of you Negroes, and he who perfects his craft is going to win at the end, because this is a marathon and it's not a race. And the people that you usually think is in the lead, sometimes, most times, all the time, it's not how it winds up. It's not, the race never ends like that. The race never ends like that. So what you used to deem as your heroes have now fallen right before your very own eyes, right? People are outing one another. This Cat Williams shit has set off a forest fire, a bonfire of a lot of people who want to blow on whistles. Pause, right? Everybody is, you got weed carriers like, yeah, man, fuck that. Where's Tasha K? I got something to say. Everybody want to go viral because the truth now is the new commodity. Mixed in with a little bit of tea, of course, you know, some salaciousness. You got to keep it salacious. But the truth, right? The truth is the new commodity. That's a fact. People want to know what they deem as the truth. It might not even be considered truthful, but they want to know what's been going on, even though they're not gonna do anything about it. Am I catching the Book of Clarence? Um, Let me see. Let me see. Is Gladys Knight catching the midnight train? Hmm? Yeah. Dark Knight feeling, yeah. You live long enough to see yourself become a villain. There's game in that too, but We'll talk about that in a minute. You live long enough to see yourself turn into a villain. So the question remains, can you plan your exit strategy? Are you man enough? Are you evolved enough to plan your exit strategy? Like Jay-Z said in the song, die young, like James Dean, in the song, one of the best songs he ever made, A Law. You know, you die young like James Dean, and you immortalize yourself. You don't get to stick around and be wrinkled and whatnot. You leave on an early note in the 27 club and whatnot, and you become immortalized. Probably never have to come back to this bitch again. All you have to give up is those later years that you think that you need, but you might not really need that. How many old wrinkled icons do you know? I know none of them. I don't know any wrinkled icons. You know, I don't know any old. I don't know any icons that don't have their teeth. You know, I don't. All of the icons died young with their teeth, and they look good. They have wrinkles and shit. You know what I mean? Even if they overdosed and they look like a hot plate of shit. You know, it's still the impressions that you can't have it both ways. Either you put in that work and tap out, or you just be neutral. You domesticate yourself and you wear a diaper. You know, that's your choice. But when you domesticate yourself and you wear a diaper, you forfeit iconic immortalization. Immortalization. Quincy Jones, you feel me? You will see after he leaves. What if they leaked his tapes? You know? What if they leaked his tapes? You dig? There's all kind of blackmail on everybody. You know? You know? Oh yeah. Steve Harvey sold his daughter to Diddy. I didn't believe it till I saw a pic of her with him wearing white nail polish. Salacious. Salacious. Get it. Yeah, I'm talking about talk that sass. It's up. This shit, barbershops, y'all gonna be walking out of there with some fire ass weaves this year. Beauty salons, barbershops, and places where they do wash and sets. It's fucking lit right now with all of this salaciousness going on. First, you had Diddy with the nail polish and whatnot. Everybody was checking Shorty's nails. You know what I mean? It was out here doing they was doing a motherfucking a nail census where I'm from, you know. People was like, I want to see the color of her nails. What she's working with, you know. You know. Would I ever be on Mav Hoffa? I rock with Mav Hoffa. You feel me? I rock on. I wouldn't be no host. I would be a guest. That's the Mav Hoffa show. They don't got no room for me over there. You know what I'm talking about? I can't be a co-host on nobody's show. But I'll pull up though. I got shit to talk about. You know, I would light them barber chairs up. You know what I'm talking about? I would light that shit up. I get in my Cat Williams. I get in my Cat in the Hat. You know, there's some Cat Williams all over the place, y'all. There's some Cat Williams all over this motherfucker, boy. You know, and he's giving people the courage to speak up and to speak their truths. And he said 2024 is going to be the year of the truth. So my $1 million question is, now that the cat is out the bag, now that we know what they do, right? This is where the danger lies. This is the most dangerous, quote unquote, time in that whole revelation, because you have to decide, what are you going to do with the information? And if you don't do anything with the information, then guess what? The information becomes normalized. And what happens when it becomes normalized? In a few months, maybe give it a year, your ass would be at a white party with white nail polish doing a freak off. That's what you'll be doing. You'll find yourself at an all-white party. It might not be with Mike Rubin in them, but your ass gonna find yourself somewhere with white nail polish freaking off. Because if they reveal something to you, regardless if it's shocking or, there's always a level of normalization that comes with it, because we don't live in a society where people get stoned to death. We don't live in a society where people get their heads chopped off or their hands chopped off. There's no penalization, especially in the West, especially in weird ass America and whatnot. There's no penalization for anything that you do, except if you're melanated and you do some petty shit and whatnot, then you're going underneath the jail. However, for other things, they don't have penalization. So you could do anything you want out here. Literally. Just don't get caught, basically. That's how they play it. Just don't get caught. Because if you get caught, you're gonna have to pay the game. You're gonna have to play the game, which is to pay the game. You gotta have to break bread and let the agents of the quote unquote racket eat. And there's a few of them. There's gonna be a few of them with their hands deep in your pocket, and they'll be talking shit in your ear while they're digging your pocket. That's the courts, that's the clerks, that's the judge, that's the quote unquote officers. That's all of them just robbing you, just stripping you. You know what I mean? But now that the cat is out the bag, now that you know that these people in Hollywood are potentially quote unquote male and women thoughts, right? They're not black excellence. They're black pestilence and whatnot. They lost their manhood and they sold out and they gave up what mattered the most, right? And that's their fucking integrity. And then they stood in front of people like they were they were out there cosplaying roles of great people and whatnot, but these are empty vessels, and they have them step into the role and depict great people and become these stars that are worshipped and whatnot. Come to find out, the whole Hollywood was just a fucking hostel, my nigga. It was like literally Pornhub. The whole Hollywood, all of it, every corner of it. It was, and it is, still is, ain't nothing changed and whatnot. It is sex trafficking, human trafficking, and it's a sex farm of some very depraved people who have some weird fetishes and whatnot. And they want to bite on everything that comes through that bitch. They have some ferocious appetites, and they allude in lascivious. Okay? They allude in lascivious, and they use the domination or the domineering aspect of backward sex. They use the domineering aspects of weaponized sex and whatnot to quote unquote control both men and women. Okay, both men and women. They rat pack the women, and they out there basically like Cat Williams said when the cat was out the hat. He had to navigate through some rough waters and whatnot in order to keep his manhood. Because once you lose that, where are you going back to? You can't unbreak that seal. Okay. So people are literally losing their manhood and whatnot for trinkets. Okay. For trinkets. And these are the people that they put in front of our children, our family members, you know, because all you got to do is show up on Fox or NBC for niggas' grandmamas and them to fall in love with the, oh, he could do no wrong. That my baby. You don't know this nigga, grandma. He touched toes. We don't know what he did to get there. That my baby. No, he not. Like they just start adapting niggas and adopting them because they on Good Morning America. They on Good Morning America, knowing that that ain't it. You know what I mean? That blind ass commitment, because that generation was the generation that saw TV for the first time, right? Like my father's generation, they saw TV for the first time. So a Negro on TV to them, man, that's like the Mach D, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Like they see that differently. My son's generation, he don't give a fuck about who's on TV. He's a digital child from the digital era and whatnot. He's worrying about who's on YouTube and who's streaming. He don't give a damn. You could be on TV. That he ain't jacking none of that. He don't care. That don't mean nothing. TV? What the fuck is TV? If you on YouTube though and you got a wave, he's paying attention. Like, who's that? Like, that's their world. Shout out to Jamal in the building. That is their world, right? If we learn to speak their language, then we could infiltrate their world and we could basically have some level of control because once again, it's 2024. People such as myself, right? I'm almost touching 50, right? And it's the OGs that's supposed to be owning the companies. We are what is known as management. And the youth, like my son's age, 16 of them, that's the talent. Shit, my 3-year-old, I'm ready to sign up the goddamn babies because they mad talented, okay? They talented in their own rights. So why is the parents not controlling the management, like the contracts, the money, the fucking $1 million deals, all of that? Why they not chopping off heads of these these Steins? I don't like no Steins. I don't like the Berensteins. I don't like the Weinsteins. I don't like the Epsteins. I'm impervious to all Steins. I'm taking a fucking Stein fast. How about that? I'm on a Stein fast. If your ass got Stein in your name, keep 4 fiends distance from me. How about that? Keep 4 fiends distance. Whatever you provided, whatever you gave a nigga to make you feel like I needed you, I'm weaning myself off of that daily. I'm weaning myself off of that daily. Okay? I'm weaning myself off of whatever kind of what they call um a dependency. You will not have your hands in my pocket. You will not have your hands in my spirit. You will not be spirit cooking me. You will not have your hands. You won't have no real estate inside of my head. I'm divesting myself from all things Stein and Berg. Okay. I'm going to rock with the Arab money. Go chill with a sheik or somebody and get some of that money. But I ain't rocking with the Bergs and the Steins. Y'all have fun. Y'all have fun because I ain't doing it. Y'all have fun. I'm going to sit back and watch y'all get Molly Whopped and Millie rocked. You know what I mean? Because that's all they've been doing to y'all. They've been Millie rocking niggas. The game done changed, bro. You need to go outside a little more often. The game done changed. People ain't rocking with when I say they not rocking with them hook nose people on a global scale, they are literally not rocking. They're gonna get aggressive with them. They not pumping with them. You are the only last person left holding the bag when it comes to the Zionists. People are not rocking with them around the world. They're literally closing doors in their face. Like, you can't eat with us. Chill. Real talk. They're not rocking with them. You should ask around and find out what you doing wrong. Because you definitely on the wrong side of history, mon frere. You know what I'm talking about? You're definitely on the wrong side of history with all of that D-riding that you be doing and whatnot. You niggas look crazy. All of the rap. Every single rapper is guilty. You know what I mean? That they first 40, they first 50 is they last 50. All them niggas is they all got secret indictments, damn near. You know what I'm saying? None of them made a rap song. Where the fuck is the Palestinian self-destruction? Where's no they don't got no they didn't dedicate no bars to no niggas overseas in the Middle East. You know why? Cause they was flying on Liar's plane when the fire came. They was burning like them David and Delilah dames. Yeah, they was chilling on Liar's plane. These niggas are ops. Okay. They pledge an allegiance to some unallegiance type of people. They pledged allegiance to the people who own them in perpetuity via contract. That's who they be, getting walked on a leash by. Sumner, Redstone, uh, Lucian Grange, Doug Morris, Liar Cohen. There's a few names that got all of these niggas on a leash. You know what I'm saying? You know, got all of them on a leash. Moving forward, if somebody is signed to a label, moving forward, right? How the new money matrix is working out, like the signed artists are gonna be the toxic, no hands-on artists. You know that, right? You're not gonna be able to work with none of them. It's gonna be artists who don't have a contract, who's not signed, whose quote unquote catalog is not owned by BlackRock. Those are gonna be the new quote unquote go-to artists. Those are gonna you can't because there's gonna be a complete boycott on all of those Zionist control companies, and unfortunately, the actors, the athletes, and the rappers are gonna be the ones who are gonna suffer the most because they're uneducated and they are basically bought and sold, right? They not even if they had the education because they're willfully ignorant. They could have hired a tutor and they could have taught them what the fuck is going on all around them, why all of their money is being uh pillaged and filtered into all of these projects that are going on, and is it real? And nothing in their hoods, nothing in these athletes hood, they don't their money don't get siphoned off and pour into any of the poorest quote unquote communities where they can make a difference. And I'm done, I'm not gonna even waste my time all night with shit like that. Y'all really know what that is. Hip hop is falling. It did its little 50-year dance and whatnot, but we deemed it to be more toxic than beneficial. And to be honest with you, the current state of it, the current iteration of it, nobody gains from that shit. So it gotta fall. It's owned. Somebody got the deed and the title, and we gotta pull that whole building down with everybody in it if need be, because that shit is defunct. It got radioactivity. It's radioactive. It's toxic. It's compromised. Hollywood. Now we know that Hollywood always been a crock of shit, but lately Hollywood is looking like what it is a plantation. The girl is telling you that there's a madam on a plantation and a gatekeeper and whatnot, and she's the one who's saying you better not pay these bitches nowhere near my amount of money. And you know who that wicked witch is, right? I don't want to hurt nobody's feeling tonight and have y'all crying in the Honda and whatnot. But it rhymes with okra. How about that? It rhymes with okra. And many people are coming out against her to say that, yo, this right here, this is the Weinstein, quote unquote. That was his Ghislaine Maxwell. That was his version. Okra. She was running Madam Plays, man. Come on now. She was running Bedouin's Plays. Them people be having the appetite of some, they want their chicken seasoned. You know what I'm talking about? They want their chicken seasoned. They want spicy chicken. So they go to the groomers and the madams and whatnot to feed them spicy chicken. I used to work with a very famous celebrity back in the late 90s, and this man had a massive appetite for women, right? An insatiable appetite for women. And who was providing him his women? He had madams. And one of those madams was my manager and whatnot. So you're not gonna pull one on me. I know how the game works. I was in the game. I was right there. The managers, I mean, the madams and whatnot who will pose as managers, role managers. You know, they give them any role. They might even be a fucking stylist. Some of them, but they running the women to this. You know, it's a prostitution ring. You know, because everybody's getting compensated, but it's the prostitution rings. You know, so that's all you seeing in Hollywood, a high level call girl prostitution ring. And them niggas is like, we got a hit. That's their mentality. They like, we got a hit. Unfortunately, you know, the casting couch is real. You know, the casting couch, you know, the horror when I find out what I found out when I grew up. The horror. The horror. You know what I mean? I was never the same. I was never the same. I didn't. I thought they was really, you know, when I was coming up, I used to ask my dad, like, are they really doing something? Like, you know, I didn't know all of the tricks and how I thought they was really boning and whatnot. And then I saw Monsters Ball. So I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I thought they wasn't having real sex, Dad. And he was like, well, that's the exception. She got donkey fucked, you know what I mean, on camera. That's crazy. That wasn't good on my psyche. Neither was it good on a lot of black young men's psyche and whatnot. That kind of threw us for a loop, y'all. I don't know if we ever had nobody to talk to about that, but that messed us up for a minute now. You know, she let Billy Bob Thornton do the unthinkable. You feel me? And it was like there was a feeling of betrayal in us. Like, damn, huh? Like, first it was Lisa, what's the name? With Angel Heart. First it was her. She went ahead and let Robert De Niro get the cookies and whatnot, Lisa Bonet. And then Holly is letting Billy Bob Thornton straight trailer trash, you know what I mean? Wiggle his worm in her on camera. Come on now. That shit was the illest. And then they gave us Precious right after that. That was the illest lineup of rituals. It was like Hustle and Flow, Precious, some other shit, and then that shit. What the fuck? Crazy. But yeah, y'all. We at the hour mark, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here. You know what I'm talking about? It was we got a lot of things to do. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of work to do. Like I wish I did have time. You know what I mean? I had to just squeeze this one in because I wasn't gonna let a Monday go and we wasn't tapped in. We got this live feature on Instagram, and now we building up this YouTube channel. All of these YouTube watchers and listeners, even on a replay, click on the link and sign up to the Patreon for free. Just be a part of the number count when we count your numbers. We want 10,000 Patreons by the end of the first quarter. We are in the first quarter in January, February, March. We are looking for 10,000. And that's not asking a lot. We need to have some heads to count so we could do what we need to do, right? Membership, quality over membership over quantity of membership any day. Your network is your net worth any day. It will never fail you. Take it from me. Your network is your net worth. I've been able to find a lot of success and I've been able to find a lot of answers by just looking right in my network. I ain't had to go far. I didn't when I realized that I didn't have to go far, that's when things got a little bit easier for me in life. and a lot of the heavy lifting got lifted off of my shoulders and whatnot. And I began to appreciate the people around me a lot more. I'm like, okay, my network is lit. My network is lit. We about something. You know what I mean? It ain't no speculation. We about something. We doing it. We doing it. You know. Forget those are mixed women. What that mean? I don't know what that mean. What that mean? Oh, that mean that they looser? They looser gooses? Hmm. I mean, with all of that being said, she was still an icon to us. Niggas had pitched her like she was her, right? We ain't know about certain things. We innocent young children, man. You know? Like when I seen the girl and She's Gotta Have It, Lola Brooks getting hit from behind as a child, I was offended. I was like, I'm like, that's my girlfriend. Ugh, the young mind before puberty is crazy. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, that's my girlfriend. And it wasn't. It wasn't. She didn't know me. She would never know me. So I don't know what the fuck I was on, but the young mind is impressionable. And I was offended. I was like, who are these niggas behind her? Beating her brains out. Like, that's my girl. She's gotta have it. You know? Yeah, Diddy was in Monsters Ball. You don't remember that? Is that Lee Daniels? I think that's Lee. It's the Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, Harvey Weinstein fucking triangle defense. Like, it's so many things that are gonna come out. It's crazy. Hollywood is full. I'm going down to Tinseltown to burn it down with the what do we say? I'm headed down to Tinseltown to burn the temples down. Before I put my pencils down, I'm headed down to Tinseltown to burn the temples down. Yeah, them shits gotta burn. Let them burn. Everything is burning. Babylon is falling. You have queens abdicating the throne and whatnot in Sweden and shit like that. Abdicating the throne. They don't even want to carry this shit anymore. Even King Charles allegedly is gonna abdicate the throne. You know. So man, very interesting. But yeah, that's about it. Melanin Mondays coming up with Rich. All right, let me see if I got a flyer for that. That's next Monday. That's live in Atlanta. Make sure y'all are in the building for that. That's gonna be fire. You know what I'm talking about? That's gonna be fire. We're gonna be doing a lot of big things. We're gonna be listening to some music. We're gonna be interviewing the brother. We're gonna be talking that talk. You know what I mean? We are gonna be talking that talk. So make sure y'all are in the building next Monday for Black Magic 363. It'll be available for live stream as well for a small fee. You dig? So with that being said, there's a lot more to talk about, small things, but we'll catch up with you. You know what I mean? We'll catch up. Love and light to everybody that pulled up. Peace, love. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you soon. All right? One.